Eventually, science will get to the point where stem cell injections should be less expensive, but also far, far safer than they are today. Okay. And it's inevitable that stem cells are the way of the future. No question about it. We'll use stem cells in the future for anti-aging. So imagine if you could replace every cell in your body with a 25-year-old cell, you start to age in reverse. But we're not quite there yet today with stem cell injections, and for good reason. They're not completely safe. So there's a few things that we need to know about this. In the early days of stem cells, which we're not quite out of yet, when you inject a stem cell into the body, we're not entirely sure how it's going to divide. So, for example, in Japan, they were looking to use stem cell injections to treat Parkinson's disease. This was a very well-published study. They injected the stem cells directly into the brain of monkeys. The monkeys died. And when they opened up the brain to see what was happening, you see that the stem cells divided into hair, muscle tissue, liver tissue. And until this problem is solved, stem cells will be relatively risky. Yeah. Another issue is on inflammation. So many times you'll find that people will have stem cell injections and they don't get any benefit. And they're like, well, I just spent $6,000 and I don't feel any different. And the reason is that when there is a chronic injury, let's break this down. What happens is somebody gets an injury and inflammation and inflammatory markers come in. The reason why the inflammation is there is to tear down the damaged tissue. But if people's antioxidant system isn't working properly, the inflammation hangs around and now the stem cells can't do their job. So the stem cells are attracted to the inflammatory cytokines at the injury. And if the antioxidant system can't keep those cytokines under control, then the stem cells die when they get to the injury site. So you can get an injection of stem cells and then the inflammation kills the stem cells and you don't get any benefit, right? Yeah. Now the patch is very, very different. Yeah. Copper peptide acts as an anti-inflammatory. Okay. Sometimes people should use the Eon patch if they're trying to deal with chronic inflammation and an injury, because that will definitely help. Okay. But people have a chronic injury, they use X39, and now it's going to help to bring down that inflammation. So copper peptide will not only get the stem cells to go to where they're needed, but it also resets the stem cells to a younger state, and you get more of them.
Wow.
So that's a huge difference as opposed to injections.
That is.
And you can do it every day.
Great to know.
As opposed to doing an injection, you know, once in a while, you can do it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many more people would rather just put a patch on as well than go and be injected?